back to the Let's Face It podcast. I am your host, Rachel Anita, and you can call me Anita anytime, anywhere, baby, and I got you. So, thank you guys for coming back to my show. We are on episode 5. Can I get some drum rolls, please? Dun, 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 dun. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And our show is available on so many platforms. We are on Apple Podcasts, we are on Spotify, we are on so many other places. I'll post them below so you can listen to me anywhere, anytime again, baby. So today I want us to talk about boundaries, as we said, standards. Okay, I have had so many issues and with my friends trying to discern what is a boundary, what is a standard. So today I have decided to bring it here because lately I've been learning a lot about boundaries and standards and why it's vital for us to individually tailor this to our personal needs and wants. Okay, so what exactly are boundaries? Boundaries, according to Rachel Anita class, boundaries are more of a no-go zone, a shield to protect what one can and cannot do and what one can absolutely not allow into their space, into their personal space. Okay, standards, on the other hand, is more so how, one decides to use and manipulate the space to their own liking. Got it? Okay. While both are technically new to us millennials, because we believe we do not know how to manage spaces and how to give each other space and how to know this is where I stop and this other person begins, we have to thank Gen Z and the Alpha generation for showing us that, simply put, boundaries is respecting other people's spaces. You cannot just walk into my house anytime you want. You cannot just come into my space. You cannot call me anytime you want. You cannot text me. Okay, you can, but there's limitation to that. You cannot just show up or expect me to show up anytime you want me to. Okay, so today, this is part of a 2-part series. Today I want to cover boundaries. So as we are covering boundaries, remember, this is more about you. Boundaries is more about how you set the rules and how you make people adhere to those rules. Okay, so sometimes this makes boundaries difficult because boundaries also depend heavily on how other people are going to respect those boundaries. How efficient are you in saying, I don't like this and I don't want this in my home and I don't I can't condone this kind of thing. Okay, for instance, how do I put it? Personally, I don't take alcohol. My husband doesn't take alcohol. Why the hell did you bring alcohol to my home? You get? So for some reason, when people bring alcohol, I'll be like, okay, fine, I'll gift it out to someone else. But if you bring alcohol to my house, you're going back with it. I don't care. If you have to respect my home, you have to respect my boundaries, and I respect yours as well. So with boundaries, one has to be very clear. This is not an easy trait. You have to be very clear and be like, I don't like this. Please don't cross the line. And if you cross this line, XYZ will happen. So it shows how assertive one person is. And let's be honest, this is quite difficult to achieve because it's inborn to people please. It's inborn to try so hard to make everyone comfortable, yet at the expense of our own being. So why should I? We are adults. We are past the age of doing this because I like this or doing that because I'm trying to please this person. We are the age where everyone has to respect everyone's spaces. And you have to create those boundaries with people. I'm not going to do what you like because you like. No, I will do what I like because I have the comfort of saying no to you because I respect myself and being able to open myself up to you when I want to. It is based on me, not on you. It is about me, not you. Okay? So that's why I say standards, on the other hand, it's a different approach because it's like I only take this quality in this amount and nothing less. This is more or also when it comes to me and customer service. In restaurants, oh my gosh, yes, I am that person. I'm that person who would return my order. I'm just that person. So yes, if I'm paying, come on guys, if you're paying 2k 3k for a meal, that meal better come what you ordered. Say to him and and they've changed your order, and they, you know, that's standards. I only wear this, I only eat this, I only, you know, that's your standard, and that's on you. If you can afford it, fine. Who are we? Whomst are we? We are nobodies to come against you and your standards. However, when it comes to personal boundaries, this is where I have issues with most people. People don't know how to respect other people's personal boundaries. If someone has consistently and persistently told you, I don't like this, or you can just feel it, like when someone maybe the attitude changes or how they are changes when something is happening, you can assume, if you're my friend, you know I'm not comfortable with this. You know very well, like I'm saying for instance, the alcohol thing. I wouldn't expect my friend to come and force me to have a glass of champagne or something. I'd be like, I don't take it. I've already said I don't take it, and if you don't get that glass out of my face, I'm going to pour it on you. It's very simple. It's very simple, actually. So let's take any relationship. You know, any relationship, like I always say, any relationship on this planet is based on give and take. No matter how you love someone, no matter how we are, every relationship is give and take. I'll give you an example. I'm a huge fan of Friends, by the way. Friends, the series, I'm a huge fan. I know it has many white people. I get it. I get it, but it really teaches a lot about friendship. So the reason why I say I'm going to give an example of Phoebe and Joey. They were having, Phoebe is one very funky character, and Joey is even more funkier character, where Joey tries to prove to Phoebe that there's Phoebe tries to prove to Joey that there's a selfless good deed, and Joey proves her wrong by showing her that there's nothing that humans do that we do not expect something in return. That's just how we are wired. Sorry, when we do something, maybe you expect gratification, you expect XYZ from it. It's just how we were wired. But let me talk to you particularly about the character of Phoebe. Phoebe is she's quite alright. She's just, if there's any reason I would rewatch Friends, because of Phoebe. There's someone who has really strong personal boundaries. If she doesn't eat meat, she doesn't eat meat. Except the time she was pregnant and she was craving it, and she had to make up one of her friends to eat the meat, to not eat the meat so as to equalize her eat. It's a whole thing. How she loves the planet, how she does not compromise on some things. If someone in your life loves and respects you, they will respect that boundary. Let me tell you. It is not even negotiable. Everyone has their icks and all that, and we have to know, I can take this to this extent, but past this extent, my friend, you're on your own. Okay? So boundaries also help us to understand who we are. It is by extension where we stop and the other entity begins. And if we do not mark this line quite properly, guess what happens? We become other people. It's very simple. You become the other person. If you cannot say, me, I don't like this, and let's say, for example, with your spouse, and you don't like, let's say, I don't like taking alcohol, and maybe my spouse likes taking alcohol. Guess what happens? One of us has to compromise. If you're not strong with our boundaries and how we set this, one of us has to compromise, and it is obviously the one who doesn't have strong boundaries, and they end up being like the other person because they did not set the proper boundaries. So setting up boundaries is very painful and necessary. Sometimes it takes time before people actually notice you're actually serious about something, that you're not joking about it when you're talking about the other time. But if you don't set up that boundary, we tend to become codependent, and this is it really makes a relationship mundane, and we become very in unhealthy relationships and friendships, you know. And like I always say, people evolve every day. What was working for me yesterday might not be working for me today. Let us just accept, okay? And if someone learn to respect, like honestly for me, there's so many boundaries I have, and I'm so happy that the people in my life respect those boundaries, because I'm not, you're not about to joke with me on some things. Like, number one, my money. You don't go wasting my money. Anyway, I'll talk about that in our finance episode. But healthy boundaries is simply being protective of your well-being, and that is why it manifests its ways in different ways. It can either be physical, like I just don't go to this place, I just don't go. There are people, for instance, who never go to Shago. I know it's festive season and people like moving up and down, having this, and Saindo at our boundaries are just thrown off the window and out we go. But for some people, they don't like going home, and it's fine. You don't start pestering someone, forcing them, go home. You don't know what that person is going through. You don't know what they went through at that place, okay? So you have to make boundaries, adhere to them by yourself, and respect them. That is one physical boundary. Another one can be something like a time boundary, which is something I just don't like interacting in the world past 10 p.m. Why are you coming to my house past 10 p.m.? Do we know each other? Like, even if we do, no, we don't. No, we don't. So poor boundaries, on the other hand, are a clear reflection of low self-esteem. Because if you keep on giving in to what the other person is saying, oh, like for instance, most of us in campus, let's go do drugs. You're like, no, I don't do drugs. Second time, let's go. That time you're the peddler. So tell me, who is going to respect you if you do not respect yourself? Who is going to be there to, accept what you're saying, to encourage? No one. If you don't respect yourself, no one is going to respect you. So if you don't respect these boundaries, and if you're not able to say no or speak up when you're supposed to, people use you like a doormat and leave you there. It's very clear. The other thing is, when setting out boundaries, learn to give the consequences that come with not respecting, with someone not respecting that boundary. Like I said, if I'm not taking champagne and you put it in my face, I will smash you with it. The other thing for me, I don't like using harsh words. I'm a baby girl. Soft life for life. I'm hashtag baby girl. There's no one who's, I don't use B words, N words. You can't use that language with me. You can't use that language with me. And if I've told you once, twice, 3 times, don't call me the B word, don't call me the N word, and you still call me that, my friend, there's a block button, and there's a reason why people use it. Personally, I have like how many blocked contacts, so adding you to that list is very easy. If you can't respect who I am, it's just fantastic. So on boundaries, again, one of my very strong boundaries are time boundaries. You can't just call me past 10 p.m. You can text me you can't text me. Maybe I will respond to your text. But calling me past 10 p.m., we don't know each other like that. No, we don't know each other like that. Unless you're burning and everything is on fire, then maybe I will come to your rescue. So, to summarize all this, boundaries are how you let other people treat you. It's clearly like that. It's simply ni kama tu vile where Kenya ends and Uganda starts. If you move that boundary, there's some disrespect. You saw what happened in Migingo. We'll tush you. So take yourself and what you love and what you respect and cover it with a boundary and let people respect it. So don't forget to communicate it, the consequences that come with it, and all that. Thank you so much for being on my show. I'm so happy to have you guys. Until next time, adios. Don't forget to subscribe, to comment, and to share on across all platforms. Thank you guys. Mwah.